Yo, what's up, guys? So I got a video I found today, actually while I was watching Abbers and Preach's channel. Shout out to them. I'm sure you guys know who they are, but if you don't, I'll leave a link down in the description and a link to this guy's video. But I saw a video that caught my attention. I've been seeing these videos a lot lately. This one's about some guy being like a loser. I didn't get his age or anything like that. I'm gonna assume he's in his late 20s, early 30s. That's usually when these videos start popping up. Your 30s and 40s, people start making these videos about how they're a loser and they failed at life. But there's a few things that I watched, I think like maybe 3 minutes into this, and I decided I wanted to make a reaction video to it. I think it's like a 9 or 10 minute video, so it's not that long. But I decided I wanted to react to this, and I have some unique points on some of the things he said. And I might also do one where I react to Aber and Preach's reaction to this video, because they said a couple of things I don't necessarily agree with. This one's gonna be a little black pilly, so if you don't like that kind of stuff, you know, I feel it, but I don't want to sound like too doom or gloom or shit like that. But he's gonna talk about a couple of things that's just a fact of reality, and they're gonna mention some things in their video that's just, I don't know what you would call it, but we'll see. I might do it. I might do it in this same video, or I might make another video. So we'll see. I might separate it because I want to address what they said particularly. So I think I'll make a different video because I don't want it to be. I like these videos to be kind of short. So let's go ahead and get on right into it.
So I'm a loser, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. Um, I wasn't purposely trying to become a loser or anything along those lines, but I don't know. I kind of saw me going down the least popular path in life, and I don't know. I just didn't steer clear from it, man. I just kept on going. Like I seen I was going the wrong way and just said, "Fuck it." I'm already on this downtrodden path, so I'm gonna continue type shit. That ass, like that's really how it was for me. And I'm a loser, not in the sense that I'm unproductive or don't do anything useful in my life. You know, I still work a full-time job as of right now.
All right, so out the gate, he already just starts kind of strong. He said he's a loser. Says he feels unfulfilled so far, and based on the visual, it looks kind of slim, slender, skinny even, and he's balding. Now we can't really tell much other details about him, but I kind of want to show you a screenshot I took of his description to kind of put you in mindset of what we're working with here. So let me show you this right here. All right, so here's the description of his YouTube channel. This video is 3 months old, by the way. But let's look at this real quick. He says, "Short and bald dude." That's the name of his channel. Description: Life doesn't come with a manual, but if it did, mine would probably be a missing few. Mine would probably be missing a few pages. I'm 30 years old, 5'4", bald, and trying to figure out why adulthood feels like a scam nobody warned me about. From failed expectations to awkward realities, this is me venting about the ups, downs, and sideways turns of life as a short, bald dude trying to keep it together. If you've ever felt like life didn't turn out the way you pictured it, or you're just here for some brutally honest and slightly self-deprecating humor, you're in the right place. Grab a snack, sit back, and let's talk about the gripes we don't always say out loud. Sub for the sub for the more rants, laughs, and raw truths from a guy who's just trying to survive his 30s. All right, so I mean, there you have it right there. So let's talk about his stats before we do anything else. He's 5'4" and he's 30 years old. The age isn't really too much of an issue. Being 30 for a man is still chronologically very young. You don't really start seeing the visual features as far as your skin and aging until well into your 30s. I would say into your 40s or 50s. If you take care of your skin, it won't really start to show rigorous, like it won't start weathering until 40 or something like that. If you drink a lot of water, you use like derma stamps, stuff like that. I actually want to start making look smacks videos for you guys in the future. But for right now, without going too far off topic, being 30 in itself isn't a problem. It's the first part he mentioned, or the second part. I gotta be honest with you. There was a point in my life where I thought height like didn't really matter. I don't know, bro. 5'4" is rough, especially for a man. To kind of be transparent, I'm 5'8", right? So I'm average height. I think the average is 5'8" or 5'9". Somebody put in the comments down below what the national average is in America for the height of an average man. Based off my findings, the average guy is about my height. Sometimes they're a little slightly taller than me, but in rare occasions there are people that are shorter than me. But generally speaking, people are my height, right? and I live in a pretty affluent big state. I'm sure you guys already know, where I am. You put two and two together, but there's plenty of people where I'm at. I have a wealth of like examples to test my height up against. So I'm not the tall guy. I'm the average height guy, right? And because of this, I've never really dealt with heightism in a sense of like no one's ever called me short. Like nobody ever in my life. Not women, not even people that used to bully me. It'd be about my teeth, my skin, when I was fat, glasses, never about my height, right? So I would go as far as to say that the way you were treated growing up has a huge impact on your life, right? And these people are going to say these things. You can say they're just bullying and they're trying to hurt your feelings, but to some extent they have to be true. Otherwise, they wouldn't say them. They could pick anything, and it was easy to pick on me, right? I was a nerd, black nerd in America. Pick your poison. But never was my height ever mentioned. I used to always like, okay, I guess. So it's like, but when you're 5'4", he's 4 inches smaller. That smaller than me. Now I'm gonna make a separate reaction to this, right? But I did want to talk about this one thing. Abba went out of his way to make it clear that 5'4" is not that short. He even went as far as to say he thought that he was shorter based on the way he was talking. I don't think Abba knows how short 5'4" is on a man. You understand what that looks like? And then in the video, the dude is slim. He's skinny. He's not buff, so he doesn't even have the advantage of being a stocky buff guy. He's skinny and he's small. That's like he's probably victim weight. He don't look 200 nothing, and he's 5'4". The average person, unfortunately, just isn't gonna take him seriously. You know what I mean? I really wanted to stop and put a lot of time into this area, specifically because of what Abba said. I almost wish I took a clip of that. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna go get a clip of that, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna put it in here so you can see what he said on his own and see why I feel like Abba is, I don't know, I mean, you call it gaslighting or coping. I don't know what you want to call it, but he's selling this dude a false dream, trying to convince him that 5'4" doesn't mean anything. And I will also comment on what he says after that and why I think the Black Pill actually has something to say about Abba's response.
You're not getting none either. The trap, that thinking like that.
Oh my God, you know how tall he is? 5'4".
Yeah.
I thought this guy was like 5 feet or something.
Yeah, but 5'4" is not tall.
It's not tall, but I know niggas shorter than him who's still getting it all the time.
100%.
Mexicans exist. And them niggas reproduce every day. I know because I see more and more of them. God bless them.
This motherfucker said
Mexicans exist.
there's sureños.
Filipinos exist. Love my Pinoys. Love my Pinay's, okay? Short jeans are not going out of stock.
This motherfucker said.
All right, so there's the clip. Now, I want to preface this by saying I absolutely love their channel. Watch Abba and Preach all the time, but sometimes, man, Abba be coping. I gotta keep it real, or just capping. Not coping, maybe capping. I don't know what the proper term for that is. But let's be honest, bro. 5'4", he said that like the dude was acting like he was 5'4" and was 5'8" or 5'9". Now, if the dude was my height, I'll be like, yeah, go shut the fuck up, bro. 5'8", 5'9", you're good. The majority of society is that height. You're fine. It's in your head. You ain't gotta be fucking 6 feet. I do pretty well for myself. I've never actually gone, like, I was never hurting, and I actually I want to talk about that. Is why I think this dude's his video is valid. But 5'4", let me show you guys. I mean, I don't need to show you. You can Google it. The difference between a 5'4" man and a 5'8" man. I'm using myself because I'm 5'8". There was a guy at my job, my old warehouse job, and I think he was shorter than me. Right? I'm 5'8". Keep that in your mind. He had to be slightly below my shoulders. Now that might not seem like much, but if I'm only 5'8", you can only imagine how that makes another full-grown man look. And the dude in the video almost looks like a child. If he didn't have a beard, he wasn't balding. 5'4", and there's no telling how much he weighs. So let's play more of the video, and I'll talk about this as it goes on. This might be a little bit longer than I originally planned for it to be.
Definitely have a pretty good savings. I'm financially savvy, smart. You know what I'm saying? My finances are in order, shit like that. But I don't really have hobbies, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
All right, well, at least his money's in order. That's a really big thing. That's one of the identifiers, I think, as a man that helps you get by. But I think the reason why he's still depressed is because you can always get money. You can't get your youth back. and it costs money to fix your looks, so that's not too much of an issue. But the things that he's complaining about can't really be fixed with conventional medicine unless he wants to go do what that one guy did that was like 5'6" or 5. I think he was like 5'6" and he broke his legs up to be 6'1", 6'2". Unless he wants to pay for that, which was easily over six figures. You can't fix your height. That's the only way to get taller. And on somebody that's 5'4", you can't just increase his leg size. You're gonna have to make his arms longer. His dimensions are gonna look off. He's still gonna be funny looking. You know what I mean? To be that short. You know what I mean? 2 or 3 inches is one thing. These dudes, for it to matter, you can't. You see, they go big or home. I mean, you're not gonna pay $100K to be 2 or 3 inches taller. So, you know, the money being there isn't really a factor. Hence this video. I feel like him, just because he could be making 6 figures very well for what I know, but it clearly isn't stopping the fact that he is of that height and is 30 years old. Again, I want to preface that I don't think the age matters nearly as much as that height. The age doesn't matter yet. Maybe when he's 40 or 50, he looks pretty young in the face, don't got wrinkles, nothing like that. He's bald. I don't know if he cut all of his hair off or he didn't have money for a hair transplant. These are just assumptions I'm making. I'm going to assume he has money from what he said, right? He said he does crypto. The average man, single, no kids, you should be able to come up with about $5,000, which is the starting, think at least minimum $5,000 for a hair transplant, depending on how many grafts you need, right? So maybe round up to 10 if you need a considerable amount. Just off the base head, have 5 to 10 grand in your head. A single man, no children, at some point, and if you have no debt, there is no reason you shouldn't be able to come up with 10K if you're in the U.S. with even the lowest paying job. You can save up 10K over X amount of years. That's what I would do. All right, like I've been getting a recession lately, but that's because of stress and cortisol levels. Male pattern baldness doesn't run in my family. My dad is 50s, still he has sparse of hair out, but that's because stress. His hairline is intact. My grandfather, full head of hair. My mom, the recessive gene is not in my family. So nobody really, is receding like that. But if I thought for some reason my hair was going to fall out, I'd just start saving my bread and I get a hair transplant, no questions asked. Like I'm going to make it happen. I have a remote job, so I'm considering doing it. I wanted to kind of stop. I want to get my scalp health better and see if I don't want to get the transplant and the hair behind it starts falling out. So I'm going to get my scalp back healthy, make sure that's all in order, and then I'll go ahead and get the hairline. But he looks bald. I can't tell if he's bald because of alopecia or has a receding hairline and he just chopped it off because he didn't want to look like he was receding. I don't know. But completely bald by 30? I don't I got a big ass forehead. But you know what I mean? I don't know. So let's see what else he got.
Like, y'all gonna say I'm crying about my height, but it is what it is, bro. Like, this is a common reoccurrence on this channel at this point, so I don't know. I just found out my shit was cooked. I just found out I'm romantically cooked as far as my SMV goes.
And for those of you who don't know, SMV didn't come from like black pill or red pill. It came from pickup artists, and it means sexual market value, like in the dating world, like what do you have to offer and stuff like that. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the video goes on. It's a 9-minute video, so I don't want to keep pausing it too much. But I have a lot to say like towards the end once he gets his piece out. But that's what that means for those of you who just may not know.
Because of immutable characteristics. Keyword height. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, that kind of led me going down the wrong path, man. And it left me feeling like complacent with where I am in life. And don't get me wrong, I'm in a very comfortable spot in life, but it's like I feel like you should never be complacent in life, because once you're complacent, I feel like that's when death comes earlier or shit like that, And I kind of do want to get this simulation over with. But anyway, that's besides the point. I don't know, man. I kind of...
All right, so right there he's already talking about self-exit game. So it's pretty bad. If you're talking like that, it's pretty bad. You know what I mean? I feel for him, man. Like I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been blessed to never have never got to that point, but it always hurts me when I hear a man talking about wanting to take his own life. Always. Because I know people very close to me who have experienced that level of pain, and it's debilitating. You know what I mean? I've had to talk people out of that before, and it's like, it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, because the mindset that goes behind that, it's almost like, man, it's almost like there's a level of confidence, like there's nothing you can do, and you're fighting a tooth and nail. They'll find reasons. It's just a hard scenario. But if you love them or love, none of that matters. Like, you're gonna fight. You want them to stay here. So to hear him get on the camera and talk like that, and it hurts, bro. And I don't even know this man. I don't know his name. He doesn't know me. We'll probably never meet each other, but I really want to react to. I'm gonna make this video, and I really want to talk about Abba and Preach's video and their response to it. And I kind of feel like they have, maybe, I don't know if it's considered survivor, like a bias. They have a bias because they're not going through that. This is gonna sound doomer-ish, so I'm gonna just say anyway. But I just want you guys to know that it's gonna sound like that, but this is just a fact of reality. You cannot understand someone on a personal level that is suffering in a way that you uniquely cannot. So I can try to sympathize, to give you an example, with him or anybody. Let's just use somebody like the guy that lost his legs, right? There's only so much you can do to help someone like that on a mental level, as far as like, oh, I know how you feel, just keep pushing, And I hate giving fucking NPC advice. That's a whole different video. I'm gonna make a video particularly about NPCs. But just pull yourself by your bootstraps. This man is 5'4", bro. For those of you who don't know, the world, you are viewed a certain way based on your appearance and the way you carry yourself, right? So your perception is how you're treated. If you are overweight, you're gonna get treated a certain way. People automatically treat you like a nuisance for some reason. I don't know the science behind this. I'm going off what I've seen. These are my experiences of almost 30 years in the workforce, right? And I'm trying to cycle my way out. I'm trying to start my own business and stuff like that. But people tend to just treat you that way for whatever the reason. It could be a subconscious reason, psychological. I'm sure there are some black pillars out there, some pro black pillars that can give some game on this. I'd love to hear it. But I've seen it. That's why I took like half of the black pill. Because on the one hand, I agree with their philosophies, and it's how life is. Life is black pilled. Like, you don't have to take the pill, but it is. Life is not red pill. It is not blue pill. And I'll make a video about that later. But you have a choice to be ignorant or not be ignorant. You can't really like, oh, I don't believe in black pill. It's not your choice. It is just like that. But what I'm trying to get at is that his life is not the same as even me. I'm only 4 inches taller than him, and my life is drastically different than his. So just keep that in mind. I'm 5'8", average height, and this dude who was only 4 inches to me has a completely different life and will live a completely different life than me, with that little of a margin of difference. So you can only imagine what someone who's 6'1", even 5'11", looks like next to him. He looks even shorter next to the preferred height than I do. Right? Like 5'11" looks big on me, and it's 3 inches, and I'm 5'8". He's 5'4". So to say that you understand him, you don't. Unless you are 5'4", you don't, and you can never understand him. You will never understand him, not on the level that he's suffering going through. Right? So that level of acceptance is rough, because you can't do anything about it. It'd be different. His hair, me personally, I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. I care about my hair. I want all my hair. But if my shit goes, I'm wearing a fucking wig. Like, if my shit falls out, if I get some kind of crazy alopecia and all my hair falls out, I'm getting a wig. I don't give a fuck. I'm not walking around here bald. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. I already got a big ass egghead, right? Big brain, your boy's smart. But I got a big ass head, so I'm just not walking around with a bald. I just don't want to be bald, right? So if I gotta pay money to have hair, it's what I want to do. Period. Whatever the case I gotta do. And if it only recedes and it doesn't all go away, I'm getting a hair transplant. And if I need to get another one, I'll get another one. That's what the money is for. You have it, use it. So for people that's like, oh, he's bald, if it's things you can fix about it, then I wouldn't really make it too much of an issue. But the height is still to this day, we can't comfortably do anything yet. I think in the next 10 years, there'll be a way to completely fix that. But yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough.
I feel like I let my younger self down, but not really so much in a sense, because I didn't know that height would be this drastic to overall life quality for men. So it's like, I couldn't foresee what I'm experiencing now as a child. But I don't know. Like I said, I really don't have a social life. I don't have friends or anything like that, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm not I'm not on that type of time with it. I actually don't mind it. I'm fine with it. It's called being self-actualized, self-realized, and understanding and accepting who you are as a person. And I kind of came to this realization a couple years back that I might be a loser, man. Because why don't I have friends, bro? Why don't I have friends? Why don't I have a social life? Why don't I have hobbies outside of making money? Really, my only hobby is fucking doing crypto, which is, of course, I got into crypto to make money. Like, I got into crypto back when I was in college, before this bull run even started type shit, years back. You know what I'm saying? I was writing 8-page papers on crypto, just hoping to make it. And then
All right, so he's got a little bit of money, it sounds like, but I am confused. I do agree with Abba and Preach on this part because they said they were a little confused as far as, like, he says he doesn't care, but it's like he does care. Like, he doesn't care about having friends. But like, why don't I have friends? It's like he's kind of coping, and I think that's a survival mechanism. Coping in itself is a survival mechanism so that you don't fucking off yourself or just die from mental stress or cortisol. So he is coping in that sense, but not having friends is dangerous as a man. This lone wolf mentality is delusion. I've been meaning to say that for years. Like, the lone wolf dies a desperate, sad death. It's not. There's no lone wolf. You can't even be rich. You can't even become rich on your own. So I don't know who. I don't even know who romanticizes this lone wolf bullshit that I hear from people say. Some people in the comments talking about I'm a lone wolf. You're not a lone wolf. You're the wolf of the pack in one. And I know that sounds fucked up, but like, this lone wolf shit has to die. There is no lone wolf. You can't be rich by yourself. You can't do the majority of things you can't do alone, right? If you mean you don't need outside sources, like, what, you gonna not go to the gym? You gotta build your own stuff. So to not go to the gym, you need a job. You're gonna need somebody at your job. You can't work a job with nobody else unless you are like a super software engineer, 10x engineer, and you're at home by yourself. And even then, if you don't need them, they need you. And if that's how you prefer it, okay, fine. But this a lone wolf mentality is the quickest way to death. I think that's an early way to the grave. For the simple fact that you don't want nobody to help you. You're not building any meaningful relationships. And another thing, your whole life should not be revolved around women. I want to make a video on itself, talking about the mind inside the mindset of simps. But you can't have your whole life cannot revolve around women. Your whole identity can't just be women. It should be meaningful relationships. You should be able to have a deep emotional connection with someone who you don't look to fuck. So a man, a guy, a man, right? If for some reason you can't have relationships with women that you don't want to sleep with, right? Because most women nowadays only think guys want to sleep with them. So he probably has no female friends. He probably can't have any because they're gonna automatically think he wants to fuck them, right? So if that's the case, you can have guy friends who are not gonna judge you off your dick because they don't want it, right? And he doesn't even have that. So this is like, it's compounding stress. It's like compounding interest. He can't win. He's bald. He's 5'4", has no friends. It's like, bro, pick a struggle. You know what I mean? It's like it's getting worse for himself, and he's feeling the energy and he's molding in it. So I hope he is not intentionally, you know what I mean? Because he's on the one hand, it seems like he's feeling bad, but then he says he doesn't mind it. He don't want friends. Like, no, yes, you do. You want friends. You want bros. What do you want to, like? You know how? Do you understand how depressing it is to do things by yourself constantly? I've gotten to the point where I don't even want to go to comic book conventions by myself no more. I don't have to. But back then I wouldn't mind. I'd go to a Comic Con on my own. Wouldn't give a fuck. Oh, Comic Con, Anime Expo, NYC, LA Comic Con, yeah, I'll go by myself. Lightbox, sure. I don't want to do it no more. It feels depressing. It's like you're there, nobody knows you. Everybody else has a person. Like 99% of people that go to cons, they're always in a group. Rarely do you see somebody by themselves. I'm talking rarely. It's somebody with somebody, or they came with somebody. And here you are, nobody to talk to about the things you like. Nobody to listen to talk about the things that they like. You're just there. After a while, that shit's gonna get old. So I never understood the idea of not having friends. It's like that doesn't even sound appealing. What about when a game comes out? Who the fuck do you talk to about it? You know what I mean? I think it goes much deeper than his physical attractiveness. It goes to the mind of not having anything. So it doesn't even matter if you were bald and you were fucking, old or 30, which is 30 is not even old. So his mindset's already getting messed up. For a man, 30 is not old, right? He has no friends. So you start to look at it day by day. He has nobody to talk to pull him out of himself, to force him to do better, to go to the gym. Why are you not in the gym? You know what I mean? You said you're 5'4". You can at least be short, bald, and buff. If nothing else, right? That's the one thing I don't agree with the black people. They say being buff don't matter. I mean, okay, let's say it doesn't matter. It won't change anything. If it's better than being, look at his physique, bro. He's skinny and he's 5'4". Damn the baldness. He could wear a wig. I'm wearing a wig. I'm bald. He's 5'4" and he's thin, bro. Why? You look like a victim. Anybody that looks at you is gonna think they could just snatch you around. It sounds fucked up, but this is the reality. You got to put some muscle on. It start there. Start somewhere. It's something. I'm 5'4". I'm putting on a wig. I'm in the gym. You know what I mean? It's not gonna change his height. His life may get marginally better, but I just don't understand sometimes. I really don't.
Eventually, I would make it, which is crazy to me. It's truly a blessing. But you know, I forgot what this whole video was about for real. I ain't gonna lie to y'all niggas, man. Still feeling a little under the weather, so that's affecting my voice. Hope y'all don't mind. Anyway, in regards to what I was talking about, I don't really have a social life. I don't. I'm saying I never felt it imperative, especially as an adult. Like maybe when you're younger, you kind of want a social life and you kind of want to connect with different souls in this universe. But for me, it's just whatever, bro. I mean, it ain't shit. I'm not fully opposed to having friends or bonding with other people, but it's just I don't really care for it. Like give or take, and I'm likely gonna leave that on the table. I don't really care for relationships or friendships like that. I mean relationships as in platonically speaking. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely down to meet new women, have sex with them, and see where it goes from there. But I mean, as far as same-sex platonic relationships, I don't really give a fuck, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think another reason why I was led down this path is lack of female companionship throughout life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not absolutely, never had nobody in life, but it's like I said, I've gone like 8, 9, 10-year droughts with no contact from women, not on that level.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. I think I made it right up until this point. This is the last part I had heard about the women. So I feel real bad for the guy. And I think this is another important part outside of his physique. I think the mental part is really important, I would say. So he said he hasn't had much contact with women. Going 10 years without women is insane. Like no talking to women, no interacting with them, no romantic. I would say as a man, and this is just me shooting to the wind. You guys can correct me if you think this is, you know, whatever the case, if it's just rhetoric. But going that long without a woman's attraction or the idea that a woman likes you, or even just interacting with a woman, her scent, her pheromones, that could do something to you. I believe that could do something to a man. You could start to get bitter. I'm happy that he doesn't sound bitter or like he hates women or anything like that, which is usually typical with the guys who don't, you know. But that could do something to you on a psychological level. And as he explained, he didn't have any conversations or anything or nothing. And I'm like, for 10 years, he's 30 now. So if he said for 8 or 9 years, it means he hasn't done it since he was 20. That's dangerous to yourself. I'm not saying he's a danger to society. For himself, that could dampen you. It's like he's been out the game for a decade. That's, you know what I mean? I don't even know how that's possible, you know? to sit there and what he went through affected him on such a level he couldn't talk to women. No one wanted to date him. He didn't even have the gift of youth. You know, those girls who'll date you just because you're the same age as them. I don't know if you guys have really experienced that. A lot of the girls that I dated was in high school in my early 20s before I decided to take myself off the market. I don't know. It was just never hard. That's why I say to anybody that watches this video or watches his video and is not in his shoes, don't come on there saying you relate to him. You don't. You're not in the same. If you're taller than him, that shit is self fucking inflicted. There are things you can do that could be fixed. You can get surgeries, right? You can get your money up. You can get your physique better. There are things that you can do. So to say that is fucking self inflicted, especially if you're 5'8", 5'11". This guy is 5'4". Like he's playing on a difficulty that we couldn't imagine. Life is already fucked as it is. 5'4" and bald, veteran difficulty. And I take to be, as a man, your life, you start at veteran and then it depends. But you're already in a negative when you come out the womb. And then when you get older, your looks and your physical, everything, your mind, your family kind of determine where you are difficulty-wise. But unlike women, we don't come with inherent value. We don't come out the gate as viable, right? We have to build ourselves up. That's how guys are. We got to go to the gym to get the muscles. We got to build up, a good business or whatever to get the money. We have to build up. We don't just get these things that women get. The reason for that is because women's, like what they have, like it goes down. If we're talking strictly off of looks value, you know what I mean? Or let's just say, if you were to say a woman's value is in her having children, you know what I mean? That's not forever. She can't have kids forever. Whereas a guy, once he builds his stuff lasts longer, but you don't have anything at first. So to come out the gate and not have anything and go 10 years with nothing, I don't even know how to compute that. You know? Like, look what that can do to a man. 10 years, and now he's 30. He's never had the taste of a woman or her. He don't even have to be nobody he's sleeping with. Just interacting with a woman on a personal level. You know what I mean? Just talking to somebody at your job. Just striking up a conversation. You know what I mean? That drive, that urge in you as a man biologically is going to make you want to hunt. We're hunters. It sounds fucked up, but I'm a true believer in traditional biology and human nature, right? And you see it every day. So what happened to his hunter gene? Like he didn't think, oh man, I want to, you know what I mean? He's been staved. He's been starving for that long. Sex or not, just even talking to a woman alone, like that's gonna, not talking to women for an extended period of time can do something to you. I don't know why people act like we need each other. You cannot go years without talking to women and it don't fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like, hold on now, what you mean you ain't talked to women 10 years, bro? No companionship, no a hug, nothing, right? And I want to talk about him saying he hasn't had that. He didn't have that as a healthy mindset growing up. We're gonna finish the video and I'm gonna just talk about why I think that is probably the most important part of this video. So I'm gonna let it finish because I don't want to keep stopping it so you guys are not waiting on what he's talking about.
So like, I know what it's like to not have hoes. I know what it's like to be womanless. And as a heterosexual man, it kind of eats away at you, especially in your younger ages. But eventually you kind of come to terms with what your life is and how it is and why it is. That's the key word there. Why it is. And it's because of height. So, coming to terms with shit like that, I don't know, man. It just kind of, it swayed my whole worldview of how I see shit. And now I'm just like a lone wolf on some loser loner type shit. But I mean, it doesn't really pay me no mind. It doesn't pay me no mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's fine by me. I like being alone, you know. I discover a lot much more about myself, why I react, how I react, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I don't think being alone is really problematic. I think I do get lonely. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between being alone and lonely. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not no fucking robot. I do get lonely sometimes. But we're men in this world, right? So like us being alone is like second nature, or should be second nature. You know what I'm saying? We're men, and maybe I'm just forwarding unrealistic standards for men.
All right, this is one more thing I want to comment on, and I'm gonna let the video finish. This is the lone wolf bullshit I was talking about. See, I didn't make it in this video originally. I stopped at the I didn't see women for 10 years part, and I started watching this. This is what I was talking about. He said it's men that rite of passage to be alone. No, it's not, brother. It is not natural for men to be alone. It's the lone wolf shit is a fallacy. This is not. Most geniuses that we know in history that were alone were insane. They would lose their mind. You literally can't be alone for an extended period of time without having a mental breakdown. That should let you know right there. You can't do it. You shouldn't even want to, if I'm being honest. It's not something that's like, it's not healthy. It doesn't help with the mind. You can't get much work done by yourself. You need a team. Men are collaborators. We do these things together. We need a brother, a comrade. You know what I mean? No wars were won by themselves. So this lone wolf mentality is a fool's errand. Like I said earlier, you are not a lone wolf, brother. You are the wolf the pack did not want. You're not some Sigma male, whatever the fuck they call it. That's like, oh, do things. No. You need a team. You need brothers. You need people that got your back, that love you and care about you, and will support you in your time of need. Those emotional lows you go through, you are not to weather them alone all the time. Of course, sometimes you could be down. That's what's part of being a man. It's taking your emotions and not always acting on them. But there's gonna be times when you're gonna fuck up. It's gonna happen. You're a human being. These invisible walls that men put on themselves, an inability to be emotionally free because they're worried about what society thinks about them, then fuck them. If a woman doesn't if she leaves you or something because you are trying to be vulnerable, she was gonna leave you anyway. You just found out. Then you don't let that affect you. If you're gonna bother you, I take that back. It can affect you, but don't change your whole world. I could give a fuck if my girl leaves me because I'm in a moment of weakness and I go to someone, I cry. I'll get another woman. There's plenty out there. No strong woman that loves you truly is gonna be like that towards you. Oh, he cried, so I'm gonna leave him, brother. That's the least of your worries. She already didn't respect you. You crying is not why she left. That is the least of your worries. She may have never been really attracted to you. All kind of other things. It's not her. It's not your tears. You think some dude she's really into, he cries, she's gonna be like, oh my god, he's vulnerable. The ugly guy does it, then he's weak. You know what I mean? It's not because it's not crying. It's who does it. But you shouldn't let that affect you, because you're gonna do it. Everybody cries. Everyone has a moment of weakness, and everyone needs a team. So this lone wolf mentality that I hear a lot needs to die. It's fucking up your guys' mental health. I'm a lone wolf woman alone. Why would you even want to live life alone? Life in itself can be lonely already. And now you want to actively seek to keep it by itself. You know what I mean? And he said he doesn't care. Like he doesn't mind being by himself. After asking the question, why is he alone? It's like, well, if you don't mind it, that's like, I mind. I don't want to be by myself, brother. I want to start my own business. I can't do that by myself. You cannot run a business on your own. Maybe a limited amount of people. I like collaboration. I love talking about people with their issues or their ideas or problems. I just love the conversation in general. I'm such a curious person. I want to learn more. I can't learn shit by myself. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room if it's only fucking me in it. No, you can't learn with that. As a species, we're visual creatures. We must absorb new information. Give things are given to us. How you're stunting your growth by being alone. You're literally making yourself stupider. So I feel like he's hurting himself, man. I hope, he has a better outlook as time goes by. But I'm gonna let this video finish and I'm gonna give my closing thoughts, because this video is a lot longer than I expected it to be. But I'm really passionate about men's mental health. Men's mental health, it matters to me. It's like top 5 things I care about.
How men should be ideally, and we should be alone. But maybe that's not the case, since, humans are social creatures, and I don't necessarily think I'm a part of that social contract regarding humans, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, humans are social creatures. So, I don't know, maybe I'm just a weirdo. Maybe I just be tweaking. Like, I also think that's a possibility. Like, that's not far out the range for me either, you know? I could just be tweaking, bro. Maybe I'm just tweaking. Maybe I'm just hallucinating, bro. I don't know. But overall, I feel like I'm a good person, though. You know, I'm not harming anyone. I stay to myself, and what more can you really ask? You know, I do what I have to do in life. I make my money. I pay my bills. I'm a tax-paying citizen, and I don't harm anyone. So, you know, yeah, I'm a loser, but could be worse, man. Could be far much worse. No, and I'm grateful it hasn't gotten to that level. I don't really believe in jinxing or anything of that nature, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm grateful it hasn't gotten to unfortunate levels. But I just figured I'd make this video on why my circumstances are what they are at the present moment, and maybe there's others out there in the world like me who kind of just said, man, fuck this shit, I'm solo dolo. I'm gonna stay to myself, and that's just how I'm rocking. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you haven't, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll holler at you guys on the next video. Short Ball Dude, out.
All right, so that's it for the video. It's like I said, it was a short video. I don't know how the hell I turned a 9-minute video into almost 41, almost 51, excuse me. But I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet here. I don't like the name of his channel. In his description, he says self-deprecative humor. Which I hate self-deprecative humor, so I probably won't watch his content because that type of comedy makes me uncomfortable. I'm believing uplifting men's mental health in any way that I possibly can, and deprecative humor is like the quickest way to a black hole of voidness. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. I wish them best for this guy. I hope he has a more of a positive outlook on himself and ways to fix it. There is a point in a black pill they talk about how life is, right? And I mentioned this earlier of the black pill not really being a choice. Life is black pilled, and then it's just how you decide to interact with it, right? And I know some people are gonna watch this video. Oh, you one of those black pillars? I'm like, I'm not myself a black pillar in the sense that I'm not like doom and gloom. I don't believe it's the end, like it's over, bro. I'm not one of those type of people, right? Because if I believe that way, I will be going off. The black pill affects me too. Everyone is a victim of the black pill, right? And it has benefited me in ways without me knowing, because again, it's gonna go accordingly. You can't argue with it. It's just gonna happen, right? And I've levied it, and I've unfortunately been on the opposite end of that, meaning that there have been times in my life where I was at a government job for a considerable amount of time, a good chunk of my 20s, and I slept with a woman who I later found out was married. And not only was she married, she got mad at me as if I was doing something wrong by wanting to stop. I felt sick. I felt terrible when I found this out. And she got mad at me like I did something wrong. You understand? Like I was the one. I'll tell a story about that later. I'll make a video about it. But like I did something wrong. You know what I mean? Like I was the bad guy. So that can change you as a person. That's when I first started looking into black pill, red pill. I didn't understand why a human being would do that, let alone a woman. Like, it don't even matter if she was a woman. Like, why would somebody do that? Why would you sleep with me knowing I don't know that you have a man and then get mad at me when I find out and want it to stop? So, yeah, the black pill is non-negotiable. Whether you decide to take it or not is fine. It's just, do you want to be ignorant or not? It's not like, you don't have to move with the black pill ideologies. There's a difference. There's the black pill, and then there's the ideologies that come with it. People that take it and feel like the world is end. That's not the black pill. That's just people and their interpretation of it. But the black pill in itself is simply the way life is. If you ever want to know, like there's videos out, there's plenty of black pill videos. There are more red pillars than anybody else. But there's some black pill videos out there. What's his name? Rehab Room is a good channel. I don't know many others than that though. I think he's the only one that I like watch. But That's the only one I think I could think off the top of my head. There was this dude named DBDR, I think. But I don't see his. I don't know what the hell happened to his channel. I think he got deleted or some shit. But yeah, long story short, without going on too much of a tangent, the black pill is like, it's there and it's affecting him directly. That's what this is. He is a victim of how just biology works. And what I will say I liked about Aberrant Peach's video is that, and the mindset that I've always had, is do the best you can with what you have. That's where a lot of my ideologies disagree with the black pillars, not the black pill itself, but them. A lot of them are like, oh, it's the end. You can't do nothing. It never began. It's over. It's like, so you just want me to kill myself? It's like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? So my mindset has had me success, right? My height was never an issue, right? So then it's like, okay, I'm fat. I lose weight. I have fucked up teeth? What do I do about my teeth? I go to surgery. I spent $10K to get my mouth fixed. If you guys would have seen my mouth, oh my God, it's bad, right? I got contacts. I lost a bunch of weight. Got in shape. Good looking face. One of these days I'll post my picture what I look like. But yeah, man, it's do what you can with what you have. And I don't know what else to say on that as far as the physical part, but the mental part is the most important thing. He's got to do something about his mental and try to start with guys. Just have friends with dudes. It's hard because sounds like he's dampened by his physical appearance. So the psychological thing going in already, he sounds somewhat defeated. You know what I mean? But everything he's saying is valid. I'm not saying there's no validity to what he's saying, because he did speak on the wolf thing, and he feels like he's putting unrealistic standards on men. Yes, you are. We're not supposed to be alone. That's not true. We need friends. We need buddies. We need pals, brothers, sisters. I have a family, pretty big family. I have a lot of friends. So I don't, I think a healthy upbringing can literally determine who you are. I had a healthy community that brought me up, friends. I went to schools. I wasn't bullied in school. I had anger management issues. People tried to bully me. I put hands on them, and then the bully would stop. So it wasn't like I was ever psychologically dampened by my environment outside of the hood. The hood fucked me over, but every other part of my life didn't come that way. But and I don't want to make this any more about me than I already have. I'll make a video talking about some of my life experiences. I mostly want to keep it on the content, but let me know what you guys think about this video. You don't have to watch the whole thing. It's a bit of a long one. It's kind of ranty, but it's really it's sad. I hate to see guys suffer like this. There's too many of us out here. We need to come together to try to help each other out in the best way that we can. I would love to have a conversation with this guy, pick his brain, have some talks with him, and see, just on a man-to-man level, like not to take digs at him. I would love to talk to him on a personal level about some way of trying to improve and see a way out, or what can be done with what your situation. It doesn't have to be the end. So that'll be it for this one, guys. See ya.